Hi, this is Ashok Shala, Assistant Professor of Chemistry from Kakatiya Government College, Hanamkonda, Warangal Urban District, Telangana State. Today's our topic is stereoisomerism, continuation to the previous sessions, and this is going to be the conformation analysis second session. In first session of conformation analysis, we discussed what are the conformational isomerism and what is the reason for conformational isomerism and how does the different compound, that is like ethane, butane, 1,2-dichloroethane, 2-chloroethanol, how their conformers are shown and which conformer is stable, that we discussed in the previous conformational analysis one session. In this session, we're going to discuss mainly what are the conformations of the cyclohexane and also what is Bayer's strain theory. Before going to start this our session, first let us discuss Bayer's strain theory, followed by how the cyclohexane shows different conformations, and among them which will be stable and what is the reason for that we're going to discuss now. Let us see, the first one is what is Bayer's theory. And this is also called Bayer's strain theory. What is meant by Bayer's strain theory? Let us see what is this Bayer's strain theory. The scientist who named as Bayer in 1885 proposed his theory based on Label and Van 't Hoff theories. The rings are flat. Preparation of higher cycloalkanes is difficult because they are less stable. Larger rings would be very highly strained as their bond angles would be very different from the optimum 109.5 degrees. Besides torsional strain and steric strain, the conformations of cycloalkanes are also affected by angle strain. What is meant by angle strain is angle strain is an increase in energy when bond angles deviate from the optimum tetrahedral angle of 109 degrees, 109.5 degrees. You know that the carbon, which is the carbon in sp3 hybridization, the bond angle is always 109 degrees 5 minutes. And the cycloalkane also, the carbons undergo sp3 hybridization, the bond angle should be 109 degrees 5 minutes. But there is some deviation due to the cyclic structure. And due to this deviation, then that arises, that strain is called as the angle strain. Cycloalkanes with more than 3 carbon atoms in the ring are not flat molecules. They are puckered to reduce strain. They are not exact ring. There is some deformation in the ring, and that structure is called puckered structures. Let us see what are the factors which influence the stability of the cycloalkane conformers. First one is said to be the angle strain. Any deviation from the tetrahedral bond angle causes angle strain in the molecule. It increases with increase in deviation. Next, other one is said to be the torsional strain. The bonds of 2 carbon atoms always try to assume staggered arrangement. In previous session, we discussed that what is staggered and what is eclipsed. In most of the cases, in general, the staggered conformers are more stable than any other conformation. That's why they always tend to assume staggered conformation. Any deviation from this causes strain. If this type of strain is in cyclic streams, it is called, that is called Pitger's strain. That strain or torsional strain or Pitger's strain. Then other one is said to be the van der Waals strain. 2 non-bonded atoms of molecules exert mutual influence on one another, which lead to attraction or repulsion called van der Waals strain. Then another strain is said to be the Then another one strain is said to be dipole-dipole interactions. The dipole-dipole interactions between non-bonded atoms of molecules may lead to attraction or repulsion, which in turn affect the stability of the molecules. Example, hydrogen bonding. In some cases, we discussed like in that is 2-amino, the 2-chloro-ethanol we discussed in the previous session, where that is staggered form is less stable than the some Gauche form, where hydrogen bond is visible. And in that cases, when dipole-dipole interactions are there, sometimes this attraction, when it is attraction, the stability of the molecule will be increased. Now let us take one by one. The simplest cycloalkane is cyclopropane. The three-member ring must have planar structure, symmetrical with carbon-carbon bond angles of 60 degrees. Requires that sp3 based bonds are bent and weakened. Now all carbon hydrogen bonds are, what I meant to say, eclipsed. Here these are eclipsed configuration. See, these two hydrogens are eclipsed. Again here two hydrogens are eclipsed, and you can see these hydrogens are eclipsed one, and all carbon hydrogens are eclipsed in the case of the cyclopropane. Then in cyclopropane, the carbon-carbon is displaced outward from the internuclear axis. This is displaced from internuclear. So if you see, this is an internuclear axis, and it will go into typical alkane carbon-carbon bonds in this way. But in the cycloalkane, typical bent cyclopropane structure is like this. Now let us go for the cyclobutane. Cyclobutane has less angle strain than cyclopropane, but more torsional strain because of its larger number of ring hydrogens. Cyclobutane is slightly bent out of plane. One carbon atom is about 25 degrees above. The bend increases angle strain but decreases torsional strain. Now see this one. This is going to be the butane because of these atoms. This is not quite eclipsed like in that is cyclopropane. This is not quite eclipsed. That's why this is somewhat more stable than the, what I meant to say, cyclopropane, and angle strain is less here. You can observe these structures, and these are three-dimensional structures. You can observe here, and actually it is not a flat one. One will be, we told it is nearly, you can observe here, one will be 25 degrees. The carbon atom, that is one carbon atom is about 25 degrees out of the plane, and that is going to be the this one, this carbon atom or this carbon atom. Now let us go for the cyclopentane. Planar cyclopentane would have no angle strain but very high torsional strain. Actual conformations of cyclopentane are non-polar, reducing torsional strain. 4 carbon atoms are in a plane. The 5th carbon atom is above or below the plane. Looks like an envelope. See how does it is envelope structure. You can clearly understood the envelope structure. This is the observer. From this side, the observer, and see all 4 carbon atoms are in one plane and one is above or below the plane, and this will give envelope structure to the cyclopentane. And here this is going to be the different conformers. This is one conformer, this is another conformer of cyclopentane. Now let us see, in 1885 Bayers, since carbon prefers to have bond angles of approximately 109 degrees, a ring size other than 5 and 6 may be too strained to exist. Rings from 3 to 30 carbons do exist but are strained due to bond bending distortions and steric interactions. The deviation from the regular angle, that is D, is equal to half into 109.5. This is going to be the actual bond angle that should have sp3 hybridized compounds, and the alpha is going to be the deviation. Alpha is the bond angle of the cycloalkanes, so that you can have the how much deviation, D for deviation. Let us see this how much deviation it is. See, actually the carbon-carbon bond angle must be 109.5. Of course, it is round up 109 degrees for sake of our convenience. See, it is actually in cyclopropane, it is only 60 degrees. Therefore, 109 minus 60 means you'll get 49 degrees. It is deviated from regular bond angle as it should have. And other one is said to be in case of the cyclobutane, the bond angle is only 90 degrees. And instead of the 109, the bond angle is only 90. Therefore, it is deviated from 90. Whereas if you go for the cyclopentane, here it is 108. That's why almost it is near to the required bond angle. That's why it is more stable, and it is deviated only 1 degree. That's why when compared to these two, it is more stable structure. And another one, angle strain is very, very less. And when you go for the another, in the case of the cyclohexane, the bond angle is 120 degrees. It is an external bond angle. This is an internal bond angle, bond strain, and whereas it is external bond strain. And in the case of the cyclohexane, it is above, that is more than 109 degrees. That's why 11 degrees bond angle is more. That's why you can say external angle strain. Now let us see the other one. See, this is going to be the 60 degrees, and this is going to be the 90 degrees. For example, if you see this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, dodecane. And in this case, a large internal angle strain is observed. Instead of 109, it is going to be the 44. Around 35 degrees will be angle strain. It is internal angle strain is possible, and it is a small internal angle strain. Here it is other one. Now the three-dimensional structures, if you see the cyclopropane, and this is going to be the cyclopentane, this is going to be the cycloheptane, and this is going to be the, you can say, cyclodecane. This is going to be, and these are the different structures, not a flat structure. Because of this, they reduces their angle strain and torsional strain, van der Waals forces, etc., to make the stable form. And in the case of, you can observe, in the case of the cyclopropane, 60, here 90, here it is 108, 120, 128, and here it is 138. The shapes of cycloalkanes are planar or non-planar. Angle strain is due to deforming a bond angle from its ideal value. That is said to be the Bayer strain theory. This is going to be the some internal angles of polygons which are deviated from the regular bond angle, that is 109 degrees. This is almost nearer to this one, and this is less than the what I mean is a required bond angle, whereas these have the more than the required bond angle. Now let us see in the cyclohexane case what happens. If a cyclohexane ring were flat, what happens? It is going to be the 120 degrees. The internal bond angle is greater than 109. And here, and because of this reason, there will be some torsional strain also. This is going to be the angle strain. Because of this hydrogens, alignment of these hydrogens, there is some torsional strain. In reality, cyclohexane adopt a puckered chair conformation, which is more stable than any possible other conformation. If it is flat, this is going to be the strain that is rises. That's why it is adopted a puckered chair structure or conformation, and this is going to be the chair where angle strain and torsional strain is very minimized, and that's why this will be more stable among all conformations of the cyclohexane. The chair conformation is so stable because it eliminates angle strain, that is 109 degrees 5 minutes, and also torsional strain because of all hydrogens on adjacent carbon atoms are staggered. And this is going to be the angle strain because of this chair conformation. The bond angle is nearer to the 109.5 degrees and all hydrogens are staggered, therefore there is no repulsions or repulsions that is going to be the torsional strain between the hydrogens on the adjacent carbons. All dihedral angle is the angle between two intersecting planes. It is the angle between planes through two sets of three atoms having two atoms in common. You can see this is going to be the a plane, and these are the three atoms. Now let us see what is dihedral angle, and this is going to be the angle between the plane is said to be here and here. This is angle between these two is said to be the dihedral angle, and that is in the case of the ethane the dihedral angle is 60 degrees. And what is the ring strain in hydrocarbons? Just that on top, that is going to see the ideal bond angle in the case of the hydrocarbons, that is under sp3 hybridization 1095, and substituted dihedral angle is just now we discussed it, that is 60 degrees. And here there is no deviation from regular bond angle, 0. Therefore, the ring strain is 0 kilojoules per mole. Whereas in the case of cyclopropane, the bond angle is 60 degrees and therefore it is deviated from the, what I meant to say, 109, the regular one, it is deviated here. You can see here it is deviated from 109. Here the dihedral angle is 0 and here the deviation is 24.44 and ring strain is 115 kilojoules. In the case of the cyclobutane, it is going to be the bond angle is 90 degrees. It is less than 109, and here substituent dihedral angle is the 22 degrees. It is also deviated from regular 60 degrees, and here it is deviated from regular bond angle. The deviation in the angle is 9.44. Here therefore the angle strain is 110 kilojoules. In the case of the cyclopentate, you can see 108 here, and it is going to be the 11.5 degrees dihedral angle, and it is deviated just plus 44 bond angle, and here that's why the bond ring strain is very less, 26. In the case of the cyclohexane, it is going to be the 120 degrees, that is more than the required regular bond angle, and dihedral angle is 60 degrees. It is same as that of the required, and here it is more than the dihedral angle is the more than the 109, that is 5.16, and that's why the ring strain is 0. In this way, the ring strains how the structure of the or conformers of the cycloalkanes will be changed. And you can other factor, that is heat of combustion of the alkanes. The more strained a compound is, the more heat of combustion, and that means that is least stable. More is the heat of combustion of a molecule, that's said to be the least, the less is the its stability. And you can see during the combustion of a cycloalkane, you will get n number of carbon dioxide molecule and n plus 1 molecules of H2O, and heat is liberated, that is called as heat of combustion. And total strain in energy equal to sample, that is combustion, enthalpy of combustion for CH2, and reference the heat of combustion of for CH2 into N. And see the heat of combustion, you can see this table, and if you want you can pause the video and you can check the heat of combustion. Cyclopropane 3-member ring, heat of combustion is 2091 and the reference is 697, and actually it should have this 143 kilojoules of deviation, and it is going to be the total strain in energy is 129, because there is 3 carbon atoms are there, That's why if you see only 129. Similarly, cyclobutane, it is 4, its heat of combustion is 27, 21, and this is going to be the 681 per CH2, and it is going to be 27, that is for the reference, and it is going to be the 108 kilo strain energy. Similarly, cyclohexane, cyclopentane has the 20 kilojoules of energy, that is total strain energy, whereas cyclohexane has a 0 total strain energy, and the cyclooctane has the cycloheptane has the 21, cyclooctane has a 32, cyclonone has a 45, cyclodecane has a 45, and cyclohexadecane has 0. And this means these have the no total this have the no strain energy, and alkane reference is 654, and which have the 0 strain energy. From the above data, value of valency deviation is minimum in cyclopentane and not too large in cyclohexane. Cyclopropane and cyclobutane have greater valency deviation, hence a ring strain. Saussure and Moore prediction and Fischer strain theory explain the stability of cyclic systems having 6 or more carbon atoms. The carbon atoms of cyclic molecules assuming zigzag arrangement rather than a planar arrangement. Since the carbon atoms lie in different planes, the normal bond angle is retained and the rings are strainless. Cyclic systems having 5 or lesser number of carbon atoms would be in one plane. And let us discuss about the cyclohexane. Planar cyclohexane contains 12 pairs of eclipsed carbon-hydrogen bonds and is destabilized by these eclipsing interactions or torsional strain. There are other problems with the planar form. In a flat hexagon, the carbon-carbon angles must be 120 degrees, quite far from the optimum for tetrahedral carbons, usually quoted as approximately 109.5 degrees. In fact, the real optimum value of the cyclohexane is about 112 degrees. The carbon-carbon bond angle in propane. In any event, the planar form of the cyclohexane is severely destabilized by both torsional strain and angle strain. We can see this is going to be the equatorial positions, this is going to be the axial positions. And the axial and equatorial bonds, there will be 6 axial, that is black colored one, and 6 equatorial black colored one, 6 axial hydrogens are red colored one. Each carbon has axial and equatorial. Each face has 3 axial and 3 equatorial, that is 1, 2, 3. And a ring flip chain conformation interconvert at a room temperature. Exchange axial and equatorial position. That is, when we say ring flip, the exchange axial changes into the equatorial and equatorial changes into the axial hydrogens bonds. Lower energy forms can be made as the cyclohexane ring distorts from the planarity. This distortion involves no more than rotations about carbon-carbon bonds, just as occurs in ethane or any other cyclic alkanes. The energy minimum for cyclohexane is the child form. In the child form, carbon-hydrogen bonds are nicely staggered, and the carbon-carbon, that is CCC bond angle is 111.5 degrees, very close indeed to the optimum. This is going to be the chair conformer. This is going to be the boat conformer. This is going to be the skew conformer. Among these three, this is more stable than this, and this is more stable. The boat conformer is more stable than the skew form. Let us see, the other one is said to be the Rotation about carbon-carbon bonds interconvert two equally energetic chain forms. This process is colloquially called a ring flip, that is flipping the ring. This is going to be the, see, this is going to be the equatorial, this is going to be the axial. When ring is flipped, this equatorial here, this is going to be changed to the equatorial, and this equatorial changes to the, what I meant to say, axial. That is, by ring flip, the equatorial bonds are changed to axial bonds, and axial bonds are changed to equatorial bonds, and this occur at room temperature itself. The axial hydrogens in one chain becomes the equatorial hydrogens in the other as the ring flips from one chain to the other. And an implication of this change is that there is more than one monosubstituted cyclohexane. In methyl cyclohexane, for example, there are two conformational isomers, one with the methyl group at axial position and another with the methyl group at equatorial position. The two interconvert through the ring flipping. You can see this. See, this is here the methyl group is at equatorial position. By flipping the ring, then the methyl group comes to the axial position. But in fact, at room temperature, it is going to be the more stable form, 95% this will exist, and it is going to be the 5% it will exist. And this is because we discussed that. This is because the torsional strain, not angle strain. Which isomer is more stable? For the axial methyl isomer, the methyl group interacts unfavorably with the nearby methylene groups. This destabilizing interaction is not present in equatorial isomer. Axial methyl cyclohexane is less stable, higher energy than the equatorial isomer by 1.8 kilocalories per mole. And you can see this is going to be the Gache form where it is in the axial position, and a Newman projection formula. There is an interaction between these two. That's why it is said to be some, what you say, torsional strain. Whereas in this Gache form, where it is present here, this is going to be the torsional strain in this Newman projection formula. If you see, this chair conformer has 4 1 3 diaxial interactions, and that means here this is one interaction, and another, if you go for this, is another interaction. This is going to be the what I meant to say, the interactions. Now let us see the other one. What is this 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane? What happens? The interactions. In the first conformation, there is its energy is going to be the 11.4 kilojoules. In second conformation also is 11.4 kilojoules per mole. That's why we can say these two are equivalent conformation. Each has one axial methyl group and one is the equatorial methyl group. Now let us take trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, and this is going to the trans. The first conformation, if you see, in this case, it is going to be the 15.2. It is going to be the 15.2 kilojoules of torsional, that is strain energy, whereas in the second one Gache form interaction is only 3.8 only. That's why what you can say, this form is more stable than this one. Two conformations are not equivalent. Most stable conformation has both methyl groups at equatorial position. Almost exclusively exist in diequatorial conformation, because see the energy difference how much it is. Let us go for the 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. How does it is ring strain? This is the first conformer where both are in axial position. Here it is both are at equatorial position. And no Gache interaction, the first form, it is going to be the 0, 0, but there is 1,3 diaxial interactions, 4 are there, and that's why it has 15.2 kilojoules per mole energy. In the case of the second conformation, both are present at equatorial position and no Gaussian interaction. There is no 1,3 diaxial interaction, that's why it is 0 kilojoules. That's why this will exist and this will not exist almost least. Two conformations are not equal. Most stable conformations has both methyl groups at equatorial position. Let us take 1,3 dimethyl another one in another way. Trans 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane. Here it is going to the first conformation, it has 7.6 because it has a 2 1,3 diaxial interaction, whereas in the second case, one is axial and another is the equatorial. It is going to be the 7.6. In both cases are the same. That's why two conformations are equivalent. See, this is going to be wrong. It is going to be the, see, this is not there. This is two conformations are equivalent because they are equal in energy. And most stable conformation has both methyl groups at an equatorial position. Now let us see 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. See, this is form. Now this is the first conformation, this second. In first conformation, there are two 1,3 diaxial interaction 7.6, and here it is also 7.6. Therefore, these also two are said to be the equivalent conformations as both are stable. Then let us see trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. In this case, one is at axial position. Okay, here these are the two are the axial position, two are at a equatorial position. In this case, the first position 4,1,3 diaxial interaction, therefore 15.2. Here no diaxial interactions are not there, that's why 0. That's why this is going to be the more stable conformer where the two methyl groups are at a equatorial positions. Now let us see this is the case. You can pause the video and check this one if you want. And in cis 1,2, you can have the both are same. In trans 1,2, one will be 3.4, other will be 15.2. And cis 1,3, one will be 0, other will be 15.2. This is all cyclohexane case. Cyclohexane, dimethyl cyclohexane case. In cis 1,4, then equatorial, this form is 7.6, this also 7, therefore they are equally stable. Whereas in the trans form, EE form is more stable, AA form is least stable. Why? Because it is 15.2 kilojoules. And here, heats of combustion of some dimethyl cyclohexanes, you can observe here in this case, just now we discussed, and cis 1,2 dimethyl is more stable than the cis 1,2 dimethyl, that is axial equatorial, here equatorial. Therefore, trans 1,2 dimethyl in equatorial is more stable than the cis 1,2 dimethyl where axial and equatorial orientation. In the case of 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane, cis 1,3 dimethyl hexane is more stable than the trans, where in the cis form both methyl groups are at equatorial position, and that's why it is more stable than the trans form. And in case of the 1,4 dimethyl cyclohexanes, and here the cis form where one methyl group at axial position, another methyl group is at equatorial position, it is less stable than this trans form. And this, what is how does stability will be, what I meant say in terms of the heat of combustion. Now this is going to be the, what I meant to say, this is going to be the 1,4 dimethyl. The first conformation is 7.6 and the second conformation is also 7.6. That's why that is going to be the more stable form. See this one, this is going to be. Now let us see how the different conformations of cyclohexane changes during the flipping of the ring. And this is up and this is down. So that this is going to be the chair conformer, this is going to be the skew conformer, this is going to be the what? Boat conformer. Again you will get some twisted boat conformer. Here also twisted boat conformer. Again, you'll get the skew form. Finally, you will get the conformer is the chair form. That means from one chair form to the other chair form, there are how many? Two skew forms are there. Three are the boat forms. Among these three, this is said to be a twisted boat form. Now, how the energy will be changed during the flipping of these conformers? They are in different way. Let us see this one. This is the chair form. This is the more stable form, and here it is lower in energy than the skew form. And here, when it is flipped to skew form, then again it changes to the boat form. Boat form is more stable than the skew form. And here by twisting you will get twist boat form. This is going to be the twist boat form. This is going to be the less stable than the what is a boat form. And here again flipping, again you will get the boat form where again the energy will be lowered. By flipping again you will get the skew form where this conformer have again higher in energy. Finally you will get again chair form where its energy is very less. Therefore, the what I meant to say in the finally, what you can conclude is chair form is more stable than the boat form. It is stable than the what is twist boat form, and followed by the skew form. Okay, with this we can conclude this conformation analysis of cycloalkanes, including the Bayer strain theory, and also Pitzer strain theory. With this, I hope that you are understood clearly, and you check it and watch it again for clear understanding. Thank you for watching this, and also I request to share this among the student community and subscribe my channel. Thank you, one and all. And you can see the beautiful chair conformer of the cyclohexane in three-dimensional. It's also three-dimensional ball and stick models of this one. Thank you, one and all. See you in the next session with a different topic.